feel happy. Thank you so much. Feel happy. Hard fight. It's good fight, good opponent. And now it's no more Anderson Silva. Islam Makhachev record. I like this.
What about the fight maybe surprised you the most? Was it like his resistance on the takedown? Was it his striking, if anything at all?
Jan is good opponent, you know, and very hard to fight with someone who stand and wait, you know. He just waiting, and very hard to show good performance with someone like that. He like stand, I see his leg, try to take him down. He have like some good defense, you know, but very hard to show good performance with someone like that.
You clearly won the first 2 rounds, and then 2 of the judges gave him the 3rd and the 4th. So it was, you know, getting pretty close in that 5th round. Did you feel you needed to go and, you know, get that takedown with a few minutes left and just close the fight strong?
Of course, this is some of them give 1 round or 4th rounds, but I feel I won the 3 rounds, before the last round, you know.
Islam Makhachev has done it again. After 5 intense rounds at UFC 330, the UFC welterweight champion walked out of the octagon with his belt still around his waist.
Islam showed that he was strong even against the bigger guy. Give your thoughts on the main event and how it played out.
When I hear it back, it sounds like a bad question. Not repeat it back to me.
Not a bad question. I think that, you know, this is my honest opinion on it. I felt like tonight was set up for the upset. I felt like the upset could happen tonight with so much on the line, all the records that Islam has, and he's going to break Anderson Silva's record. There's weight classes for a reason. Ian Garry is a big, rangy, strong guy who has great takedown defense. I mean, if you look at his takedown defense tonight against Islam, it was impressive. I felt like, I think that Ian is a talented guy. If he had even an ounce of killer instinct in that 5th round, you know, he had been beating him to the body. Islam's whole, I think, right side was beat up. His face was beat up. You don't come out and hug and shake hands in the fight. That drives me crazy.
Defeating Ian Machado Garry by unanimous decision and adding another historic chapter to his already incredible career. The judges scored the fight 49-46, 49-46, and 48-47 in Islam's favor. Giving him his 17th consecutive UFC victory and allowing him to break Anderson Silva's long-standing UFC win streak record. But immediately after the fight, Islam's reaction was not the reaction of a fighter who had just destroyed an opponent.
120 on the main concourse to claim your winners. UFC and the Sixers Youth Foundation, thank you for your support.
Instead, he showed respect for Garry while making it clear that he believed his experience, composure, and wrestling were ultimately the difference. Islam had entered UFC 330 facing a very different challenge from what he normally sees. Garry was significantly taller, had a major reach advantage, and had spent the entire build-up talking about his ability to keep the fight at range and prevent Islam from imposing his wrestling. Yet when the cage door closed, Islam remained patient. He didn't rush toward a finish simply because Garry was talking confidently before the fight. He stayed disciplined, mixed his striking with takedowns, and repeatedly forced Garry to fight in positions where Islam was most comfortable.
Between Islam Makhachev and Ian Machado Garry, if you haven't watched the fight, you know the drill. Turn this video off. All right. It is Islam Makhachev earning the decision win over Ian Garry. You can see it right here, getting it done. This was an interesting fight. Islam looking really strong out the first 2 rounds. Getting Garry on his, against the fence. He had the head kick, obviously, which changed things in the fight. I thought when he landed the head kick, he was going to go for blood and get the finish there, but that doesn't end up happening. Listen, credit to Garry for surviving. I thought there were points in this fight where Islam did look like he was going to potentially either win by submission or...
One of the biggest moments came in the second round when Islam landed a powerful head kick that dropped Garry, proving that the champion wasn't relying only on wrestling. Garry survived the knockdown and actually became more competitive as the fight progressed, particularly in the middle rounds, but Islam continued to find ways to control the overall fight. And when the final horn sounded, Makhachev knew exactly what he had accomplished. He had entered a new division, captured the welterweight championship, and now successfully defended it against one of the division's most dangerous young contenders. What made Islam's immediate reaction especially interesting was the respect he showed toward Garry. Rather than dismissing his opponent after the victory, Makhachev acknowledged Garry's toughness, his physical strength, and the improvements he had made. Reports from the fight noted that Islam praised Garry after the bout, while Garry himself expressed pride in his performance despite the loss. That reaction tells us a lot about Islam's mindset. Before the fight, he had been confident and had repeatedly questioned whether Garry was truly his toughest opponent. Islam had even criticized Garry's tendency to fight defensively and win decisions instead of looking for finishes. But once the fight was over, the trash talk was finished. Islam had proved his point inside the octagon, and there was no reason for him to continue attacking Garry personally. Instead, he could simply point to the result, and the result was undeniable. Islam Makhachev was still the UFC welterweight champion. The victory also showed something extremely important about Islam's evolution. Many people wondered whether his dominance at lightweight would translate to welterweight, where opponents are naturally bigger and stronger. UFC 330 provided another major answer. Garry was one of the largest and longest opponents Islam had ever faced, but Islam repeatedly found ways to close the distance and put his opponent under pressure. His wrestling remained effective, his control was excellent, and his ability to stay calm under pressure was once again on display. Even when Garry began finding success with his striking, Islam didn't panic. He didn't abandon the game plan. He simply continued working round after round until the championship rounds were finished. That composure may have been the biggest difference between the two fighters. Garry had moments where he looked dangerous, but Islam consistently looked like the fighter who knew exactly what he needed to do to win. And after the final bell, Islam could finally celebrate. The victory moved his UFC winning streak to 17 straight fights, surpassing Anderson Silva's previous mark of 16 consecutive victories. That is an enormous achievement because it places Islam in a category occupied by only a handful of fighters in UFC history. He has now proven himself at lightweight, moved up to welterweight, captured another championship, and successfully defended that title. His immediate reaction, therefore, wasn't simply about defeating Ian Garry. It was about another step in a career that is becoming increasingly difficult to compare with anyone else's. The biggest question now is what Islam wants next. He has already conquered one division and established himself as the welterweight champion.